Welcome to Rock Your Reinvention, where I help high-achieving career women like you get unstuck, make your corporate exit strategy, and successfully transition to your next chapter. Hi, I'm your host, Karen Freeland, a certified life coach and corporate exit strategist. Whether you want to start a business, become a speaker, or something else, I'm here to give you the tools and strategies to shift your mindset, build your confidence, and take bold actions so you can rock your reinvention. Ready? Let's go. Hello. I am back in the studio and ready for today's topic. I even have my bifocals on. Let me tell you what, I don't know if I'm aging gracefully, but I am definitely going to age with humor because this is not for the faint of heart. Anyway, today we are talking about managing the transition from corporate to entrepreneur. Not my bifocal situation. I know that you may be considering making the leap from your six-figure salary like I did to entrepreneurship, which is a really exciting move, and I commend you for making this leap. I also know most women don't prepare enough for the transition. And I think that's because, one, we kind of assume that it's going to be seamless. I mean, I know especially going into coaching, I was like, I'm a life coach. I'll coach myself if there's any issues. I'll be fine. And the second thing is we don't actually know what to prep or that we even need to prep for the transition. So today I want to give you the blueprint that I wish I had for successfully managing the transition from your corporate job to starting your own business. Now, if you're at the beginning stages of considering leaving your job, you're actually going to want to go back and listen to episode 65 and episode number 21 first, okay? 65 and 21, write those down, go listen to those, and then come back to this if you're still in your job. Because today what we're going to do is really walk you through that time from when you put in your 2 weeks notice to being about 6 months into your new business, okay? Here we go. Number one, first thing you need to do, take a LinkedIn hiatus, or at least put up some guardrails. Let's unpack this. Why would I tell you to take a break from LinkedIn? Well, no matter how much you hate your job or how toxic the workplace may have been, there is still the tendency to have a sting when you see coworkers or other connections getting promoted, changing jobs, being recognized for something at work. And right now, at this very pivotal moment of your transition, you do not need this attack on your mindset. And that's what it can really feel like at times, an attack. I had one of my clients say to me, maybe I should have hung in a little bit longer. I don't know why I wasn't strong enough. And she was talking about someone that she knew who had recently been promoted. And I had to remind her, hold the phone. You're the strong one. You're the one who knew their priorities. You're the one that drew the line in the sand for your mental well-being. And thank God she did. So in order for you to move forward, you can't be looking back. You can't be looking at what once was. And so we do this by taking a break from LinkedIn. Now, if your clientele is on LinkedIn, then you're probably going to need to put up some parameters so that you can still use it effectively without getting sucked into that mindless scroll and having a pity party for yourself. I actually took a 6-month break myself after I left LinkedIn, and it was glorious. And then I came back to it. But I realized that time frame may not be ideal for everyone. So let's talk about some things you can do if you really want to build your platform on LinkedIn and you want to stay there. First thing you want to do is have a very clear agenda when you're on. Okay, I'm going in to connect with 10 women, or I'm inviting these 5 people to a networking event, or I'm going to do this post and I'm going to engage on any of the comments from before, right? Like, you know what you're going in for. And as soon as you complete those activities, you're out. You're not sitting there going through the feed and seeing everybody else's updates. The next thing you want to do is really catch yourself. If you start to scroll, just exit the app immediately and then go back to your agenda and, okay, what am I in here to do? Like, get yourself back on track. You can also keep any affirmations that you've written for yourself close by and say them if needed, right? So you might have something that's like, I am enough, or I was meant to start a business. I am building a successful empire, right? Whatever some of those things are that you need to have from an affirmation perspective, just have them listed out, keep them by you, and then you can read them if you need to, if you start to see something that is triggering. The other thing I would say is delete the app and only go on it from your computer. This is going to help you be really focused, also and intentional, and you're not going to get all those notifications at all hours of the night. You may, if you have enough revenue coming in or you have the funds, you may want to consider getting a VA, a virtual assistant, who can do some of your posting for you. Or if you listen to episode 68 with Nisha Patel, we talked about PR. You may want to have a PR person who's doing some of this for you. And that's going to keep you out of the app and more focused on actually delivering for your business. Now, I could keep brainstorming ideas with you, but I bet you have some of your own for how you're going to manage your LinkedIn hiatus or your guardrails. So take a moment to write those down. It's okay to pause the show and take a few notes for yourself and then push play and keep going. I really want this to be actionable for you. Okay, so now that you're taking the LinkedIn hiatus, that's the first thing. The second thing we need to be really mindful about is keeping a schedule and routine. Finally, you have total freedom and autonomy over your time. I mean, this is a huge accomplishment. You can sleep in, wake up without an alarm. You could go to the gym in the morning, maybe do some gardening or meditation before you start your day. That is fantastic. Congratulations. However, for some, this newfound autonomy can really trip you up if you're not disciplined. Next thing you know, you're binge watching reality TV and it's noon instead of building your empire. So I am all for relaxing morning routines, right? Bringing the kids to school, although that's not always relaxing, but picking them up, like that's something that I prioritize. I want to volunteer for their field trips, but we also need to make sure that we have a very disciplined work schedule. Now, one way to look at this could be time blocking, right? Where you say, okay, from 9 to 11 a.m., I'm going to be working. And then I'm going to take lunch and walk the dog 11 to 12. And then 1 to 3, I'm going to come back and see clients. And then I'll go pick up the kids or something. But there's also an approach, if time blocking doesn't work for you, where you can do more activity blocking. And it could be specific or it could be a little looser. Like Mondays, I'm going to write and schedule my social posts. And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, that's when I'm going to see client or do client delivery work. Thursday, I'm going to record podcasts and go live and do all my on-camera stuff since I'll be looking fabulous, right? So you can start to prioritize your time and energy that way as well. Whatever you do, you must carve out dedicated work times each day. You might even choose to not work on Fridays like I did, right? But let me tell you what, this whole idea of the 4-hour work week is not a reality when you first start your business, okay? And this might be bursting some bubbles, but I am not going to lie to you. And if you're magically the 0.0000001% of people that this happens to, like you only work 4 hours a week and you build this successful 7-figure empire, well, freaking congratulations because you are a unicorn. But please don't go on social media and tell anyone else because this is not a reality. This doesn't happen for people, okay? Okay. So make a schedule for your weeks and stick to it. Last thing I'll just add in here, one of the ways that I have also tried to maintain some balance is I have a week where I see clients and then I have an off week. And then I have a week where I see clients and I have an off week. So if I want to take vacations or I want to do certain things that bring me out of the office, I've got a whole week every other week where I can fit those types of things in. And that's worked really well for me. So I just thought I'd share that as well. Now, some of you aren't going to have a structure in your business where that's going to be feasible. You're going to have clients every single day, every single week. And then you're going to have, team members who fill in when you're not there. And that's cool too. But again, some of this is just trial and error, right? You'll figure it out as you go, but you got to have a schedule. Okay. The third thing I want to make sure you do when you're planning your transition and you're managing that time between leaving your corporate job and starting your business or getting into the business is that you are building up your entrepreneur tribe. This is especially important if your entire network around you is made up of people that you've worked with in corporate. And this is the case for most of the women that I coach. You want to start shifting the balance to be around other successful entrepreneurs who, this is very key, are performing at a level that you want to reach. Okay. So if you want to be an 8-figure entrepreneur, there's a very small portion of people in this world who exist at that level. You need to find them and be around them. If you want to be a 6-figure entrepreneur who has a lot of freedom and flexibility, right? Then I'm like more your gal. Like, come hang out with me and my peoples. You really need to be looking at what you want to. If you're like, Karen, I just need to make $50,000 and that's cool and whatever. There may be another group of like working mompreneurs and that's your jam. But find that tribe and be mindful of the level that they're playing at and where you want to be at. Because you want people that are going to give you advice that aligns with you as well, right? And I will tell you that this tribe, if you build these connections and you make them solid, they are going to serve you for years to come. So I just had a phone a friend session this week with 2 of my entrepreneurs from my tribe. I have a corporate client opportunity to do some executive coaching and training. And I really was like, you know what, ladies, I need some help pricing some of this stuff. I want to get your idea of how you're doing this in corporations. And within 24 hours, 2 of my friends were like entrepreneur friends were on the phone with me and walking me through this. And when I say friends, I mean, I didn't know them since birth or anything, right? Like I met them when I became an entrepreneur. So it's so critical that we have these people that we can reach out to and that can give you ideas and perspectives and help you when you're in a new situation. And this is really why I created the Successful Working Women Rocking Reinvention Facebook community. And if you aren't a member yet, I would love for you to come join us. Look for the notes, the link in the show notes, because we all need community, especially when we're going through a big transition. Now, how do you build your tribe? You're like, yeah, great. I'm sold, Karen. Just like, tell me how to do this. Facebook groups are a great place for entrepreneurs to hang out and to make connections. Attending local and virtual networking events can be really great. We're actually doing some networking in February in the Facebook group, Successful Working Women Rocking Reinvention. So again, we're starting to incorporate more of that this year so that we can come together in person as well. Well, it is in person as virtual can be. You might want to attend conferences for entrepreneurs or speakers or consultants, online business entrepreneurs, right? Like think about your niche a little bit too. For me, I'm in a lot of author groups because I'm also an author. So the other thing you can do is ask. Just ask other entrepreneurs, hey, where do you hang out? How did you build your tribe? And I guarantee they'll tell you something like, I was in Elevate Network for a long time. E-Women Network is another one that's out there. There's so many that I don't even know about. So just ask. If you're around the right kind of entrepreneurs and good people, they're going to want to share with you where they go, where they built their tribe, and they're going to want to include you in it. Now, one note of consideration that I want to make sure I just touch on is that you don't want to overfill your connections with entrepreneurs unless that is your target market. So I have had several peers that I have seen this happen to, where they go out and they start connecting with all these entrepreneurs and they have a Facebook community like I do, and they start inviting everybody they meet, all these entrepreneurs, because they want to fill the group and they want to make it look big. But then they get frustrated because they're like, no one is buying in my community. And I'm like, yeah, of course not, because they're not your target market. They're not engaging. It's crickets in there because they want to talk about entrepreneur stuff. And then you've got a bunch of women that you're trying to, get promoted or something in corporate as a career coach. So it becomes misaligned. So yes, you want to build your tribe, but just because you connect with someone doesn't mean that they need to become your whole network, right? You really want to make sure you have that balance. Okay. So that's just one little thing to watch out for. Okay, number 4, the 4th thing you've got to do to help manage this transition to starting your own business is focus on revenue generating activities. It can be so tempting as a new business owner in these early days to just focus on branding. And hello, as a former marketing executive, like that's my favorite part, right? Like that's the fun stuff. I want to make the website. I want to come up with the best logo, right? You want to obsess over the colors and the font. But I hate to burst your bubble, and you can thank me later. This is all a time suck. Yeah, I know, the marketing guru. I don't know if I call myself a guru, but you know what I mean? Like I lived and breathed marketing. I'm telling you right now, this is a waste of time. This is something that you can perfect later. Yes, a consistent brand is important. Yes, having all the colors and the fonts is going to be good, but not right now. Right now, what you need is cash flow. Felt like singing that. Revenue is king for you, okay? You don't need Facebook ads. You don't need a 20 email sales funnel. You need to get on the phone with potential clients and have conversations and give them an offer. This is what I do. This is why it's going to help you. Would you like to work with me? Let's get started, right? You need signed clients. So anything that doesn't immediately contribute to a signed client can wait. You don't need to make a contract up yet. You don't need to hire a lawyer. You can set up Stripe or PayPal once you get somebody to sign on the dotted line. So don't try to have it all figured out beforehand. You are building a business, but a business doesn't exist without clients and revenue. So let's focus there first, okay? Now, you might want to get a little Post-it for your desk, for your computer, and just write the question, is this revenue generating? Big question mark. And then keep it on your desk, put it on your computer screen, and then ask yourself every time you go to do something for your business, is this a revenue generating activity? And if not, maybe don't do it. Really take a hard look at it and go, do I absolutely need to do this right now? Or would I be better suited if I got on a call with somebody? And a lot of times we do these non-revenue generating activities because we're afraid to put ourselves out there, right? Because of the confidence. And this is all going to tie into tip number 5. But this alone, right? This tip alone, and just asking yourself that little question, is this revenue generating? Can save you so much time and frustration down the road. Okay. Now, my 5th tip to really help you nail this transition, shocker, is to get a coach. I cannot tell you how valuable this will be for you. You have to live it. You have to experience it, right? Yourself. Like I can tell you why, but you really need to just kind of take that leap of faith and trust that what I'm telling you is truth. Listening to this podcast, yes, that's going to be tremendously helpful for you. But I can't give you specific advice for your situation, right? I'm giving you more general guidance and tips. But when you work with me, I can get so much more detailed and really meet you where you are with all the nuances of your life and your work and your business. When it comes to having a coach, that cheerleader, that accountability partner, someone who can really brainstorm with you and help you vet your business strategy, who can help you set boundaries and encourage you to take calculated and thoughtful risk. I mean, the list is endless for why you need a coach in your corner to help you manage this transition. And it's funny because I remember when I hired my first coach, I was like, okay, let's just get to the business strategy. I'm not going to be needing any of this mindset stuff you're telling me about. Like, just lay it out to me. How do I set up my business? What does this look like? Oh my gosh. I was so surprised and amazed at how much of our time ended up being spent on my mindset. I had a lot more to work through than I realized. And you know what? I spend my days coaching other people, and it's really hard sometimes to turn around and coach yourself. And I know that this is going to be true for you as well. I'm also really big on women investing in themselves. And I think that this is one of the reasons why, statistically speaking, male business owners are typically earning more than female-led businesses. Because many women don't want to spend money on themselves. And men have no problem doing that, right? They're like, they'll go get all the support they need. So first of all, not only is coaching a tax write-off, but you will be more profitable in the short term. So the ROI is there. But 2, you're also going to be much more successful when you have that support and you have some skin in the game, AKA dollars in the game. There's an old saying, people who pay attention. Unfortunately, we typically don't value something that we get for free because there's no impetus to act. There's again, no skin in the game. Now, I have had the pleasure of coaching dozens of women through this process, so I know the pitfalls and I know how to avoid them. So if you're interested in exploring some coaching further, the best thing to do is to go to my website or click the link in the show notes and book a call today. It will be the best investment that you ever make, and it will ensure that this transition goes well. All right, if you are in the process of leaving that job, starting your business, here's what we're going to do to manage that transition. 1, take a break from LinkedIn, go on hiatus, or at least set some guardrails if you really need to be there. 2, keep a schedule and a routine. This is very important. We don't want to just waste away our days in front of the TV or some other mindless activity that isn't contributing to the business, because you're just going to get frustrated and your dream is way too big to allow that to happen. Number 3, we're going to build up your tribe of entrepreneurs so that you've got that phone a friend opportunity whenever you need it. And you've got someone who can build you up and be like, oh yeah, girl, that's totally normal. These things happen. Or here's how I did it. Let's save you some pain, right? We want that community and that connection. 4, we're going to focus on revenue generating activities. We're not going to waste time with things that aren't bringing cash into the business initially. And here's the thing, a lot of the things that you think are going to sell in the market, they may not. You might actually have to tweak it. So to spend all this time building something up that doesn't resonate or creating marketing with certain messaging that doesn't work, you'll waste so much time and energy. And the 5th thing you can do is to get a coach, preferably me, right? I mean, I'm basically your coach already, so we might as well just make it official, right? But you want to have that support, that accountability, and someone who can help you brainstorm and get your blinders off, right? Because sometimes we're just so focused on something that we don't see other opportunities. So it could be really helpful to have that third party who can get involved. All right. Congrats again on taking the leap and starting a business. This is such an exciting time and I am rooting for you. I wish you a very successful transition and hope to see you on a coaching call real soon. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're inspired to take action by committing to one of the tips or strategies we talked about in today's episode. If you want more accountability and support, I've got your back. Book a complimentary Empowered Exit Strategy call today. Visit KarenFreeland.com to learn more and book your 45-minute session. Until next time, stay fabulous.